Hey everybody, KC here. So I was reading a really interesting story in Business Insider about the breakdown of trust between management and labor, between corporate executives and the people who work for them. And it's interesting. Let me quote from part of it. In our current reality, employers and employees everywhere are already profoundly miserable. Only 31% of Americans said they were engaged at work last year, according to Gallup, the lowest reading in a decade. CEOs know this is bad, and they see the uninspired work their demoralized staff are producing. That's why they're dangling threats of firing and forcing everyone back into the office, which is further demoralizing their workers and getting even worse work out of them. Yeah, threatening people rarely works in terms of motivating them to get better. I go on. The story goes on. Corporate America has a choice now. It can let itself fully descend into a dysfunctional hellhole, or it can do the difficult and uncertain work of renegotiating the psychological contract with employees. After reporting on people's changing relationships to work over the last 4 years, I've come to believe that it has to start with reviving loyalty. And I've been thinking about how to adapt it to the modern era. The thing is, good work experiences are rare, the story suggests, in today's corporate world. Global competition, shifting skill demands, and fickle investors mean that most businesses just can't promise jobs for life anymore. But the thing is, loyalty to one's employer has very little to do with lifetime guarantees. It just has to be for real. It has to be tangible. It can also be intangible, and it has to have a connection. I've always been loyal to the companies for which I worked, but let me tell you, there have been a lot of them. But while I was there, I just felt that I needed to give them my best efforts at the time, and I trusted them to basically treat me as if they recognized that. I would leave those companies generally when that trust broke down. So the thing is, everybody, for this to work, over the long term between companies and employees, well, everybody has to go above and beyond for the business and for each other. Some of the things that make sense. Colleagues welcome feedback and discuss it instead of dismissing it offhand. Executives talk openly about their missteps and take pains to credit employees for successes. People are loyal to each other rather than looking for the next best opportunity to stick it to management or stick it to the workforce. Now more than ever, it seems to me, this change has to take place. The pendulum, as always, has moved. AI is accelerating that movement. There's anxiety out there about the economic climate. There's fear of change. In some places, there's embrace of change. But all of these things can create a mix of emotions on all sides. It's a perfect time, not an easy time, but a perfect time to try to reset the balance, to rediscover loyalty between management and labor. Management has to lead on this, and that can be hard. There are a lot of other tangible issues with which they have to deal. But over the long run, there may be nothing so important as reconnecting in a fundamental way with the people who work for a company. Again, from the story. In the end, if this doesn't change, we'll soon end up with a workplace totally devoid of trust and goodwill. One in which neither employers nor employees believe that they owe each other anything. And that will translate into businesses that act as if they don't owe their customers anything, which is to say, bad businesses. Anyway, that's what's on my mind. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.